What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Road Talk. Here at Road Talk, me being Ro, talk about all the One Piece you need to know. And guys, I have been making videos left and right a little bit lately, and I would appreciate you to go back and look at those other videos if you have missed it being on Christmas break. And I hope you all did have a great Christmas break and a happy new year. But in that time, I did make two videos, and one was talking about is Zoro and Sanji worthy of being called commanders, and the other video is my favorite video that I have done, especially with the new effects I have going on. It's my top 30 strongest One Piece characters, and it was a ball to make. It was very fun to make, and I hope you guys really do enjoy that content that I made for you. But before we get into chapter 1036, I'd like to thank you all for coming back to the channel and watching the channel, giving me views, and liking the video. It does really mean a lot. All the love and support I get on the channel, guys, all this work that I put in, I do appreciate people coming back and liking the channel. It does really mean a lot, and all the people that does subscribe to the channel, I appreciate you guys. Y'all my Nakama, and I'm glad you're back here watching another video here. And guys, I want to just get right into chapter 136 now of One Piece. Let's go! It's confirmed Zoro knocks first commanders into flashbacks now, because in the first couple panels that we see, Zoro is the self-proclaimed winner of this fight between him and King. And during that period of time, he knocks King into a flashback. King is having lost the wing, and now he's reminiscing about an interaction that he had with Kaido way back. And that interaction is Kaido is asking King, do you still believe that I am Joy Boy? King responds back and says to Kaido, legends are legends, but I believe in you, Kaido. I believe in who you are. Just long as you keep being the strongest, I will follow you and I won't lose no fights at all. And that is a good reminiscence of how Zoro and Luffy relationship is. Because if you remember back on the earlier chapters when Zoro fought Mihawk, he left off that same type of feeling and that the charisma as King did with Kaido just a moment ago. After losing his fight with Mihawk, Zoro puts the sword in the air and says, I would never lose a fight ever again. Do you hear me, King of the Pirates? And Luffy was like, yeah, I hear you. And it just shows you the dynamic relationship between right hands and their captains, and how they bond and how their loyalty is formed with them. And it's the same type feeling. So it kind of has me thinking about all the other right hands that came or are with Yonkos right now. Do they have that similar bond? Like, does Ben Beckman and Shanks have that bond? And I'm pretty sure that Roger and Rayleigh probably had that same bond before too. So it's just interesting how the relationships work, and we are seeing this unfold. And I think this is what I love about One Piece the most: the character building of One Piece, and how it has more than any other animes that I have ever watched, how the relationship worked in between one another. And this is a beautiful thing to see with this, and this is the stuff that we wanted to see more between Kaido and King, more backstories between the two. And we also do get to see at the exact same time a young Kaido. So it was a great little flashback. And the news about King's defeat came to CP0 instantly. And they were shocked about this news that King lost 2 in the Todorobo. It does not look good. This is like something that was not foreseen before. But they were saying as well, as long as you got those 2 powerful people on your side, you got Kaido and Big Mom, you gotta wait for one of them to go down. Then we can start talking about the war has changed over to the other side. And they're right, because Yonkos need all the respect that they do deserve. And we get a little recap as well about the Onishigima Fallen Island and also Wano, and all about things that's going on in Wano. So remember guys, Onishigima has two problems right now. One problem is when they fall, they will fall right on top of Wano, and if they do that, it's like a meteor coming to the ground, and everything's it's a wrap. It's over. Tens of thousands alive will be killed at that moment. And also at the same time, they are battling another problem. On Onishigima, there's also a fire that is spreading down to the bottom of Onishigima. And at the bottom of Onishigima, there's a lot of ammo, there's a lot of firepower in there. So fire, ammo, gunpowder, all meet what happens. Exactly. And we don't want that to happen. So right now we do have a Yamato going into trying to stop this, and she's bringing one of her boys with him too. And I don't like this part. It's the only reason why I didn't like the part when Yamato was trying to go past the door is you don't mess with people when they sleeping.
Picking him up!
No!
Oh,
Don't wake them
oh,
up!
that's a myth! Wake up! Oh, hey.
When they sleep, let them sleep. But anyways, it was just a little thing about Yamato. Yamato tells one of her number to go over there, knock him out, hold him down so I can get past, and so I can at this time, you know, try to solve the problem about the fire that's inside Onishigima. I know a lot of times that Ussop may be portrayed as the weakest. He's not really useful into any of the Straw Hat's real core of the team, or he's just a weak guy and just seems like he's like the black sheep of it all, and that he doesn't really have a real role. But I'm starting to learn that Ussop has another role on the team, and that's morale support. I can remember back at his lobby when Luffy was struggling to get back up to fight Rob Lucci, and Ussop gave Luffy the words and the feeling to go right ahead and finish that fight with Rob Lucci. And that's the exact same thing that he does here in Onishigima. And we see that Kinemon and Okiku are clinging on to their life, barely holding on a thread. But since they are samurais, they have this code of honor about how pathetic that is to do things in that certain way. So they're telling that Kinemon is telling Ussop, hey, just leave me here, I'm not gonna make it. Take Kiku out of here and you can manage to escape. And then at the same time, Kiku is telling Ussop the opposite. Take Kinemon and you can just escape with Kinemon and she will sacrifice her life. And it just seems a lot of sacrifices is with the code of samurai. They just willing to sacrifice their lives like it's nothing. They just put it on the table anytime. And like I was saying before, Ussop is starting to have a new role as more support. And these words was actually real good. And then Ussop is saying that he doesn't care if he had snot dripping down his nose. He doesn't care if the mission is finished. He wants to see it all the way through the end. And he was saying, I don't care if he looks pathetic at all. He said he's going to complete the mission and he's going to live after that mission as well too. And it just showing you that Ussop is a great character in One Piece. So for all the people that gives Ussop a lot of hard time, hey man, you gotta start seeing him in a different light. Don't always just expect that the strongest people are the most important. Sometimes you do need that more support like Ussop in this chapter. For a quick moment, it did look like Kiku and Kinemon had some type of feelings about Ussop's words. And before they had a chance to act, guess who pops up and saves the day? Izo. Izo pops up after all the soldiers are attacking Kinemon and Ussop, and he saves the day and tells Ussop, those were great words of wisdom that you said, God Ussop. So Izo knows about Ussop, and that is something that, like I was telling you before, that if Izo knows about Ussop and how much of an important person he is, even if he is the weakest, but he knows and respects Ussop enough to know his name. And guess what? Ussop didn't even know Izo's name at all. So it just shows you that Ussop is starting to climb that ladder of great famous pirates that he wanted to be all along ago. So it was really cool to kind of see that. I always like a good payback of how to, when things come full circle and people are actually starting to get what they sow. So it's just great to see that Ussop is starting to become a well-known pirate, and it's great to see that Izzo knows his name, and Izzo comes to save the day for all of them, and there eventually escapes. How did y'all guys feel about this? Comment down below on how do y'all feel about Rizzo versus Fukurokujo, and because with the paralysis jutsu, so if one person has the hand up, and in order to release the paralyzing effect on the other person, they have to release their hands, right? But if both people are doing it and they both of their hands are stuck like this, how does another person release their jutsu if they both are paralyzed at that time? So I'm real curious about that. That's just a little funny joke that I had inside, but also at the same time that it was real cool to see Rizzo said after Fukurokujo was like, hey, you better release your jutsu first before you burn up. But knowing Odin and how bad Odin was boiled in that big pot of fire that he was in, and Rizzo was saying he was a vessel of Odin, and he's saying this fire right here, he couldn't even feel it. So they were just another cool words of how Oda is portraying these characters, and it was cool to see that. Then we see Orochi and Kurosagi are still in the treasure suppository, and they're just chilling. They're just having a good time. Kurosagi is playing Orochi's favorite music, and they just out there vibing and not even having no care in the world. I'm waiting for that moment when she flips that violin or whatever you call it into a sword of her father's sword and gives Orochi what he rightly deserves. So I'm waiting for that. I wanted to know the whole payback in that as well too, because I know she do have some words for him. I can't just see her just going back into like a servant type of role for Orochi, and I'm just curious on why she's doing this right now. So I'm waiting for that as well too. So I'm hoping Oda delivers that pretty soon, since it looks like the war is about to start coming to an end after all the things that we have been seeing. In CP0, it's shown that they defeated at least Drake, because Apu, which he was always shady from the beginning, Apu ran off of the fight with CP0, leaving Drake and the other number alone by themselves. And I guess that's when the opportunity came, when CP0 finished it off. But CP0 did tell me something that was kind of shocking, that they said that Drake was a formidable fighter. He was showing that he was worthy of to be hyped up like he was hyped up. So that has something a little bit to tell, but Drake is actually finished with that, and I wish that wasn't off screen. I wish I would have seen more Drake feats or more Drake's attacks and everything, because every time we seen Drake fight, it was always just a little bit of a clash, but never really nothing with Drake in his bag. But they're still looking for Nico Robin at this moment, so I was hoping that the whole Drake and that pool thing would have killed that, but they still looking after Nico Robin. I hope, please, Oda, do not let Nico Robin get captured. I'm done with the captured and save things with One Piece. We have that enough, but pretty sure we probably still had that with Sabo later on. But anyways, back to the story. We do get flash forward to Luffy fighting Kaido, and they look like they both having a ball up there. They look like they're just loving this fight of two powerful people going toe to toe. And if they are going to toe to toe like this, and Kaido's having fun, respecting Luffy as an opponent, that's how you know Luffy made it. Luffy has made it. If Kaido is looking at him, I'm like, hey man, it seems like you having fun. I'm having fun too. Like this is what we want to see all along back at when Luffy first started his journey, to build up to be actually called a Yonko. And I'm just, like I told you guys before, I'm so happy about pays off at the end of an arc, or I just love to see that, just the way it pays off at the end. During that fight, Luffy gets hit and he gets sent to the ground with Kaido's club, and then Luffy sends a rock gun right into Kaido's face, and Kaido looks a little bit beaten. Sadly, that's when the chapter ends. We do not get to see any other further details about that fight, and I'm hoping that we can start wrapping this up soon. I'm looking for more to Luffy stuff. I want to see him do some, I don't know, Kamehameha rock gun type of attack. I'm just looking forward to our new gear, Gear 5th something. I'm looking forward to seeing what Luffy has for Kaido. I'm looking forward to see actually how the whole CP0 and the after the war thing happens. Maybe Big Mom's crew can maybe intercept the agents of the Marines that's coming to Onishigima, especially since if Big Mom is going to be probably out and unconscious, or maybe even during that time, the Marines attack Big Mom's ship, and then Big Mom leaves the fight with Kid-in-Law, because I always predicted that fight would not work out or finish. I do not believe Kid-in-Law is at the level of to defeat a Yonko, but maybe Big Mom will get distracted by her kids in danger and then go save her kids and fight off all the Marines that came to Onishigima. And that's probably how at the end that everybody gets the time to get healed up or something, because that end of Onishigima is going to be a story to be told. I'm waiting patiently to see how Oda's going to write that, because you got the CP0 looking for Robin, you got the Marines that are outside waiting to see if the Straw Hats and the Alliance win, and then you got so many other things. You got Sabo, you Mary Joseph, so it's just a lot of things that I'm looking forward to. I'm getting excited. I'm loving this 2022 year about with the One Piece. So already it's starting off with a bang. Oda, take all the time you need, get healthy, and then all your stuff as well. But hey man, you're doing a phenomenal job once again. I give this chapter a good 8 out of 10. It was a solid chapter. It was fun to read. I was looking for more chapters after I finished reading it. So it was a joy. And I hope you guys enjoyed this week chapter review of One Piece. I'm glad I saw you guys again here. If I can see you guys again on 137, please remember to like, subscribe, and even share the content if you did like it. Until next time, guys, peace.